So bacteria can survive in many different pHs, but bacteria tend to have an optimum pH in which they grow the most effectively. pH or the pH scale runs from 0 to 14. Anything below 7 is considered acidic. Anything above 7 is considered basic or alkaline. And so if you are a neutrophile, you're going to grow near that pH of 7. So we typically look at or call neutrophiles any organism that grows anywhere between pH of 5 to pH of 8. So slightly on the acidic side, slightly on the alkaline side, but right in that area close to neutral. Then we have some organisms that are called acidophiles. If you grow below pH of 5, then you're going to be called an acidophile. If you grow above a pH of 8, you're considered an alkylophile. Helicobacter pylori can grow in very acidic environments, such as the stomach. Our stomach, depending on if we're eating or not, can have a pH as low as 1 or 2. But Helicobacter pylori produces an enzyme called urease, which takes urea and converts it into carbon dioxide and ammonia. This decreases the acidity of the environment that the Helicobacter is in. So it actually, though it grows in those low pHs, the environment it's in is going to be a little bit higher. Picrophilus ashmiae is an organism that has an optimum pH of less than 1. So it's a very extreme acidophile. Organisms also require water for growth. But depending on the type of organism, they may be able to grow in less water or in more hypertonic environments. So halotolerant bacteria can grow in environments that are up to 10% salt. So what that means is they can grow, they're going to be able to survive. That doesn't mean that they have to have salt in their environment. Halophiles require salt, so they have to be in high salt conditions all the time. Bacteria that live in the sea or the ocean tend to be halophiles. Extreme halophiles have to grow in greater than 9% salt at all times. So the Dead Sea or the Utah Salt Flats, those are organisms that grow in those high salt environments at all times. And so this is just your table from your textbook, table 4.2, that goes through the different environmental factors. The last thing we're going to talk about in this video are the trace environmental nutritional factors that organisms need. There are different trace major elements and trace elements that organisms have to have for growth. So all organisms need things like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and then they need other atoms as well, like phosphorus, potassium, that are going to allow them to grow effectively. Some elements they need in a small amount. These are known as trace elements. So cobalt, zinc, copper, these are all trace elements. They can't survive without them, but they only need a very small amount of them. And over here you can see what their function is. So like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, these are what make up the majority of your organic macromolecules. Nitrogen helps in producing nucleic acids as well as amino acids. Sulfur produces amino acids. So you can go through this. If you are an organism that takes carbon in as an organic carbon source, like we eat meat and vegetables to get our carbon, then you are called a heterotroph. So humans are heterotrophic. If you take carbon dioxide in from the environment and pull it in, fix it, and convert it to an organic carbon source, then you are called an autotroph. So plants are autotrophic. Bacteria can be either heterotrophic or autotrophic. Many organisms don't get there if you are in need of nitrogen. Many organisms can't just take in nitrogen gas, but there are some organisms that can. So organisms that take in nitrogen gas are known as nitrogen fixers. They convert nitrogen gas to other compounds that contain nitrogen that are able to be used by other organisms like plants. And then the plants use them, and then we can get our nitrogen from eating those plants. So phosphorus and iron, we need these in lower amounts, and so these often are known as limiting nutrients because they're going to determine how much protein or ATP we can actually produce depending on how much of the phosphorus and iron that are in our system. And we're talking about microbes as well. Many microbes need specific growth factors that they can't produce on their own. So humans have certain growth factors that we can't produce, and we have to take them in. Think of we have amino acids. We have essential and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are ones we have to take in because we can't produce them. So E. coli synthesize all cellular components from glucose, so they don't need growth factors in general, whereas Neisseria are very fastidious, which means they need many growth factors. Fastidious species can be used to measure the quantity of vitamins in food products. So you can actually use fastidious species to determine if there's a lot of vitamins or very minimal vitamins in certain nutrients or in certain foods. And then all organisms need energy. And so some organisms will gain their energy from sunlight. So these are called phototrophs. If you gain your energy from chemical compounds, then you're a chemotroph. So humans are called chemoheterotrophs because we gain our energy from chemical compounds, typically from the same thing we gain our carbon dioxide or our carbon source from, not carbon dioxide, our carbon source from. So chemotrophs can be fungi, animals, can be prokaryotic organisms as well. And then phototrophs, we do have certain organisms that are photosynthetic, that are bacteria, as well as we have plants and algae that can be phototrophic. And so here are some terms that you should know definition-wise. A photoautotroph is an organism that gains energy from sunlight and carbon from CO2. Photoheterotroph, energy from sunlight, but carbon from organic molecules. Chemolithoautotroph, also called a chemoautotroph or a chemolithotroph, these are all the same, take energy from inorganic compounds and carbon from CO2. And then chemoorganoheterotroph, also called chemoheterotrophs or chemoorganotrophs, they're all the same, gain their energy and carbon from organic molecules. This is where we fit in. Okay, we are chemoheterotrophs. I'm going to stop here and we'll get into the different media in the next lecture. All right, bye.